Hey friends, Sarah Resnick here, and today's video is about the 6 stages of disease according to Ayurveda. So Ayurveda uses what's known as the tridoshic theory, and the doshas are called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and we can find examples of the doshas all over the place in nature, including inside our own body. So we each have all three of these doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, in our body. And each one of them individually can either be in a state of balance or imbalance, and they can fluctuate back and forth. And when we look at the 6 stages of disease, it has to do with whether or not these doshas are in balance or out of balance. And what happens if we don't address the our imbalances when they're small, they actually perpetuate and get bigger. And we notice the imbalances when they're very, very small as subtle symptoms. And then if we don't address them and it increases, those symptoms get louder and more exacerbated. So one thing about Ayurveda is it tells us that all disease starts in the digestive tract. And there are two main components that really have to do with the inception of all disease and all symptoms. And these components are called Agni and Ama. Agni is what's known as your digestive fire. It is what helps us digest, yes, our food. So it's that process of digestion. And if Agni is working well, then less Ama exists. If Agni is not working well, then more Ama is accumulated. And Ama is waste. It is what accumulates when we don't digest well. When we digest well, we assimilate our nutrients, and waste exits the body through several different passageways. But if we're not digesting well, and that also means our mental and emotional Ama, if we're not digesting that and assimilating our experiences, then that is accumulating in the body as well. So healthy Agni digests and even prevents the buildup of Ama. Therefore, Ayurveda's chief goal is really to protect Agni at all costs. So the idea that is the result of this is that disease doesn't just happen to you. According to Ayurveda, there's a really clear trail of breadcrumbs, and that clear trail has to do with the buildup of Ama, and that clear trail is also what's known as the 6 stages of disease. So stage 1 is accumulation in the dosha's home seat. So Vata's home seat is the colon, Pitta is the intestines, and Kapha is the stomach. So at this stage, things are really easy to adjust and stay away from this disease just by going through preventative measures with lifestyle and food. Stage 2 is where things get a little bit more aggravated, still in the home seat, but symptoms are more pronounced. We can at this stage use food and the way that we eat to start to take care a little bit better and shift those imbalances. Stage 3, this is now where there is spreading, and that excess buildup leaves the home seat. It's on the move, and it's looking for kind of weak spots in the body to relocate. This is very much the crux point of disease. It's the tipping point where at this point we can detox and get rid of some of that buildup and then change, or it's going to keep building up and the suffering will perpetuate. So at this stage, at stage 3, this is when there just starts to be general low-grade symptoms like not sleeping well or feeling really groggy when you wake up, not able to wake up well, not digesting well, crappy energy, achy joints. This is what I'll kind of hear people say, like, oh, it's a bummer getting old, right? There's just this general not feeling so great. Well, yeah, you're getting old. Things are accumulating. But what if, we can empty the bucket. We can get rid of some of that excess ama and actually feel better. That's part of Ayurvedic wellness. So stage 4. Now this is when the infiltration of new areas starts to build. So it's found that weak spot to accumulate, the divot, and it really localizes in that area. The imbalance takes up residence, and ama persists but also begins to change, and this is the point where disease becomes more specifically diagnosable in the Western medicine model. Stage 5 is manifestation, where there's a qualitative change in cell tissues, in organ tissues, or in the systems of the body. The dosha really starts to disrupt normal functions, and full-blown symptoms are manifest. At this point, it becomes difficult to reverse the changes. Right, so stage 5, it becomes a lot more difficult to reverse. And then stage 6, there's distortion, disruption, and chronicity. This is where qualitative changes spread to other organs and systems. Conditions are chronic. The overall system is weakened. And it really gets embedded in the body to the point where you can't reverse the damage. This is like cancer that has metastasized throughout the body. So there are a variety of things that we can do really to mitigate disease in these earlier stages before it gets to that point where it's diagnosable and harder to reverse. And in these earlier stages, it could include yoga, prescriptive yoga, and prescriptive lifestyle practices, as well as a specific time of detoxification, which includes eating a prescribed diet that really keeps the body nourished and not in a state of stress, because we can't let go when we're in a state of stress. So you want to be nourished and help the body release that excess buildup of ama. So there you have it, a little lesson on the 6 stages of disease according to Ayurveda, and a little something about how we can prevent, how we can mitigate that, the symptoms getting worse, how we can address them in the earlier stages. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. You can drop them in the comments, or you can reach out to me personally. I love that stuff. So talk soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.